Marshal of the Office of the City of Coldspring Fire Marshal of the State of Texas, and will to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution and the laws of the United States, and of this state, so help me God. Having been appointed municipal court clerk for the city of Coldspring, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will truly and faithfully enter and record all orders, decrees, and judgments. Record all orders, decrees, and judgments. And proceedings of such court. And will faithfully and impartially. Discharge all other duties. Of my office. According to the best of my abilities. And understanding. So help me God. You're officially sworn in.
I guess I forgot. Just pig. Break that.
Well, yeah. Sorry. All right. I state your name.
I, Greg McGee,
Do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will faithfully execute the duties of the office
of
the City of Coldspring Municipal Court Prosecutor
the City of Coldspring Municipal Court Prosecutor
of the State of
of the
Texas,
State of Texas,
and will to the best of my ability
and will to the best of my ability
preserve, protect, and defend
preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution and the laws
the constitutions and the law
of the United States
of the United States
and of this state,
and of this state,
so help me God.
so help me God. Okay.
Officially sworn in. Thank you.
The mayor wants that.
Got two judges, Ms. Rick and Ms. Ford, that I didn't get back there.
Up front and down there, get one shot.
Yeah, it's hard to do. One, two, three.
Thank
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it, sir.
you, Judge. Okay.
Take that.
Good? All right, it's a few minutes after 7. We'll call regular call meeting for January 5th to order. Need a roll call, please.
Jacinto, Jennifer Manuel, Diane Griffin, Nicole Gatewood.
Okay, public comment. Anybody signed up?
No, sir.
Okay. On the agenda, we found that over under 9 new business, B has already been taken care of. We don't need to take any action on B. D, that's been taken care of. We don't need to take any action on that. We need to make, since we're adopting C in 26, the correct ordinance number would be 2026-01. So when you make a motion to adopt the agenda, call out B, and D is being deleted because it's duplicate. And ordinance number in C will be 2026-01. So I need a motion to adopt the agenda.
I make a motion to adopt.
With those changes.
With the changes.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Carried. You have minutes on December the 3rd. You take a look at them.
I make a motion to approve the minutes for December.
All right, motion's been made, second as presented. We got a second, all in favor?
Aye.
You have bills in front of you to be paid.
I make a motion to pay the bill. Second.
All right, motion's been made to pay the bills as presented, seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Good. Let's see, reports, the sewer, wastewater, Josh, you're up.
So the average flow for the month was 43,000 gallons at 21% capacity. The max flow was 74,000 gallons, and we had 2.75 inches of rain. And then all the lift stations were no issues. The sampling for the month of November was no issues. And we're gonna be talking to John about it. A couple of the 3 lift stations that the control panels need to be replaced. But they're still working, but we want to replace them before it becomes an emergency and they stop them. So I'm working on getting quotes for that. So it's more of a preventative maintenance thing and not a corrective maintenance. Next month.
All right, any questions for Josh? Okay, good job, Josh. Finance and legislative report. You've got the closeout in front of you for 2025, looking at the general fund. Our collections were up like 23%. Most of that was sales tax, so we did well on the high side. When you go down and look at total expenses on the general fund, we're at 80% of what we budgeted. So we will be making some moves where we've overspent, we're underspending, and level the budget out to take care of that next meeting. We'll get a sheet on that. Sewer, as usual, the general fund carries the sewer plant. Maybe with this extension, we'll get there to where we get closer to breaking even. The hotel motel, we got our final report. Jody's distributed the checks to the Historical Commission in the Chamber, or we'll be doing that when this closes out. We're in the middle of the first quarter right now for the next year. Capital projects. Obviously, we're still struggling trying to get these projects going. We'll be talking about that here in a little bit. We did some dirt work out at the sewer plant. We'll be using some of the funds that were earmarked for that out of last year's budget. Then we'll jump into 26. Once it gets permitted, we'll get that building built. Primarily, it's for security and operations of the sewer plant, along with our storage that we need for our lawnmowers. And its name has changed various times along the way. What did you say, dude?
I'm waiting on you.
I'll have to change it on here first. We'll crescent the building with the right name on it when we finish it. But it's going to have to do with public works. It'll have to do with sewer plant operations. And in that, we don't have a security system out there. We will have a security system out at the sewer plant. So we'll go from, it's long overdue, we'll go from there on that. So basically, some of this capital projects, when you look at your 2026 budget, you can see that some of that money over there will be spending it on 3 different projects on their own capital projects. Part of our goal this coming year is to finish some of the projects that we have started. Obviously, Parks and Wildlife, when we approve the layout that we're going to show up here, then we can go to Parks and Wildlife for another proceeding, get started on the walking trail. Number 2, we already have bid out the 2025 line, and that's supposed to start in late January. So we'll start spending that grant money and then some of our capital money to expand that project and get it done. Number 3, over on Faulkner, the additional 200,000 that was left on the table, we rebid that, and we should have the contract issued here about the end of the month. They gave us an additional year to do that line, and that's a gravity line. It'll be fairly quick to put it in, but that way we don't let that money go back to the department bag and go ahead and spend it on the project by expending the project. The final one, which I finally made a decision on which way to go, is going to be the community center. I've already asked for a meeting with the old directors to explain with them the direction we're going on that. I'm going to acquire a low interest loan from the state. We'll match it with $100,000, and we'll probably have our budget set at $1 million to rebuild the community center and get that started the mid part of this year, hopefully, and get it over with. I'm interviewing right now design build firms that we'll talk to and get a feel for what they feel like the market is right now on materials, so we can get a read on where we're going. And that's about it. I'll keep y'all informed as we go along. Those projects have become part of your, I gave you a strategic plan homework assignment. This will be on the agenda next time. Mark this up, get it back to me, and basically we're going to do business a little bit different. We know where we are and the infrastructure and governance and communication and community development and where we want to go this year of 2026. So give me a call if you need me to change some of this, and then it will be on the agenda next time for us to adopt this strategic plan. And we'll be in a pattern of doing that every year, so we know which direction we're going and what we're trying to achieve. The back page of this is a draft of a mission, a vision, and guiding questions and motto that have been developed over a few years. Us as a whole, I just put it in writing. I need your comments on that one also. Other than that, we're going to proceed in this happy new year and get after it. The investment report is the same as it's been. Nothing's changed on it. There's a copy of it in here. If there's any questions, ask, and we'll answer them. Community center, we just talked about that. Now I'm coming down to the volunteer fire department. Michelle, you're on for that one. You've got a report in front of you that she's put on the table.
For the month of December, we experienced a total of 26 emergencies, 3 structure fires, 5 wild and grass fires, 1 motor vehicle accident, 3 EMS assisted landing zones, 1 gas leak, 1 fire alarm, false alarm, 3 disregard calls, and 9 medical calls. For training, we continued our in-house training as stated in previous months. We also have a new ESO reporting system that went into effect January 1st. We'll be working on learning that new system this month, and Stop the Bleed training will also occur this month. Countywide training, we have not scheduled one for this month as all departments have to learn the new ESO reporting system. Our public relations, we did have our 55th anniversary gala. We did our medical tent on Christmas on the Square, and we're part of the Christmas parade for the same event. Station improvements, there are none at this time. Emergency Service District, we have agreed to sign the assignment agreement with changes. There will be a discussion about the changes that we would like to see made at the January ESD meeting on the 19th. We have also attached a monthly report of our calls so you can see what our call logs are and how our reporting system is and what each call dictates. That's it.
Any questions? Thank you for the report. We'll jump over into capital projects. Obviously, I've already talked about the community center. Made no secret about it's time to take a look at our fire department property and take a look at the building. I've talked with Michelle about probably doing another building on the back side, the bone structure. We're gonna assess that this year and see if it's feasible. Obviously, we'll keep the current building and renovate it a little bit, and it'll be used as it is in the Crawford area. If we're fortunate enough to get grant funding this year, but we will go the grant route on that, and that will probably be about $1 million project that we look at. The sidewalk project, we have a meeting in Lufkin on Wednesday, and that will be the topic. We have 2 of the 3 grants that we received, approximately $5 to $6 million in funding. We're going to see about the sidewalk project. It's changed a little bit. The one here from the high school end has also got a bicycle lane attached to it, and in lieu of going all the way to the courthouse, we're turning down Judy?
Iowa?
No, next time.
The one right next to, I don't know, I thought that was
The
one.
one that we're out to
Alton?
Or Jackson.
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 The state wanted, we have at least 80-foot right of ways. They wanted to not go to the core of the town. They wanted to divert around it, going from the sheriff's office and then pick it up and take it out of town, out to the low moderate income housing project on that side of the road. So we'll be looking at that. That one has been funded. The only one that we are going to seek funding next year for is the sidewalks from the junior high into the People's State Bank area and tie into those other sidewalks. So we have a network of sidewalks from the high school, the junior high school, and then from the housing project into town to where it allows people to walk off the shoulders and get them on the other side of the ditch. So we're going to be interested to see if we can't get these 2 that we have funded started. The money for the third one is earmarked, but we have to apply for it because we chose to do these in 3 parts, and we will apply for it next year, this coming year. We've already talked about the Department of Ag, or what I call the Faulkner Project. We were successful on grabbing that money before it got swept and extending that line a little bit further. Like I said, it's a gravity line, it'll go up pretty quick. General Land Office, which is another grant, I call it the 2025 project. We're good to go on that. We've already got a notice to proceed approval from GLO, and we already have a contractor on board that will start on, if I'm not mistaken, January the 20th. And we'll work with them on getting that done. We talked about Parks and Wildlife. Y'all assume we'll approve the drawing that we'll show you tonight, and we'll get notice to proceed on that. We should be able to finish that this year and get it back into working order. It will be twice as long as the current walking trail and have a play area for kids in the center of it. City Hall extension, we did our study on that. I've got a drawing on that. That's going to be our municipal court extension in the back behind me. We'll be working on that this year. That will be something we'll probably finance ourselves. We'll see how that works out. And we've already talked about the public works building that we're working on. Any questions on any of those projects? In your strategic plan that you got, I've earmarked some of the grants that we'll apply for in 2026, approximately 3 or 4, and we'll change our strategy a little bit different, and we'll see how that goes. We do have a meeting tomorrow with the grant administrator to work some of this stuff out in detail. Let's see, next I've got the city attorney, Greg. You have any comments?
I just got 2 things to say.
Okay.
After what we did earlier, we got a full court staff.
All right.
Now, from judge to associate judge to prosecutor to court clerk to bailiff. So I've got secretary now, because we've got to log all that in with the Office of Court Administration and let them know that the city of Cold Springs has a municipal court and is fully staffed and who those staff members are. I'm gonna help her get that done. So-
Good.
So,
And like I told the judge, that we would probably look at mid-year, looking at some of these things we need to do citations on, and see if it's gotten any better. So I'll do my part and I'll hand it off to you.
Okay.
And if it's worthy, you take it and go forward. Okay?
And the second thing is, I'm still working on reviewing the city's food truck ordinance.
It changes, doesn't it?
As to what the new law is to make sure that we don't.
I think since we complied with the state regs, I think we're probably okay, but you do diligence.
Well, I think we are, because just reading it, nothing really jumped out at me, but it is something that I know the city has an ordinance on, and I want to make sure that so that's one project that's.
And reading that one through the year, I think what's happened is some of the cities wanted to totally shut it down.
Yeah.
And we're not trying to do that. We just want to make sure that they have their health license and, but review it and give us a recommendation if we need it. Anything else?
That's it.
Okay. Okay, first, I got Amanda talking about the sewer report with adjustments and cutoffs.
I had 2 deposits applied on the accounts for adjustments, and then I had 1 walk-off. They haven't paid yet, so they're still locked off.
Okay. Any questions from Amanda? Okay. Old business, none. New business, discussion and possible action on the joint election to contract for election service. Jody, is there any? As usual, we have a contract.
Everyone has it in their packet with
Yeah.
the quote.
You can take a minute to look at it. It's very similar to other years, with the exception the price keeps going up. The same way with audits, the prices are going up on the audits. When we started, around 10,000, is now up to about 19, I think, I'm not sure. But there has been some new legislation on the municipal audits that passed. And is it the controller's office?
Yes, it is.
We'll look at some of the cities that are not doing audits yearly. So we're in good shape. All we gotta do is get our 2025 audit in here. And we've got our team on board to do that, and then we'll carry the boxes on 2026 and they'll get started on that. So, y'all get through with that, a motion and then a discussion and then a second, and then a vote on the election contract service.
Make a motion to accept the contract.
As presented. Any discussion on that? I'm changing this a little bit on y'all. Okay, no discussion, then a second.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. All right, that one carried. Okay, that was A. We've already taken B off the table. C is the hotel motel. The ordinance number, we corrected the ordinance number in the original motion. It's ordinance number 2026-1. And it has to do with updating the hotel motel tax. And that's where we never had an assessment collector for that, but we do now. And this brings that in line. We have our first quarterly report in February, is that correct?
Well, they will pay for the last quarter in January 20th.
Okay, and we'll
For the
send
fourth quarter.
that report to the comptroller?
Then I have to report to them.
All right. So we do have a couple of delinquencies there that we will try to work it out with them so they don't go on the naughty list we send in. It's a 4% tax that they collect from the user that comes into now our tourism budget. That cannot be spent on buildings, salaries, or whatever. anything, probably publications on Visit Coldspring is where that money will go. We'll see how that goes. So, I need a motion, a discussion, and a second on the ordinance number 2026-01.
I make a motion to approve the ordinance.
Any discussion on the motion to approve? The second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. That carries. All right. As we earlier stated, besides B, we took out D because we found that this had already been taken care of. We do that's on ordinance 2025-2 is already on the books. We'll jump over to E, which is discussion of possible action on approving amendment for sewer improvement. This is Faulkner Creek. This is the Texas Department of Agriculture Community Development Block Grant. Do you have a picture up there you can show, or do we have?
I don't think we have a picture of that.
On that one?
Yeah, that's sewer, pull up your sewer. Oh, not Faulkner.
No. We have.
It's the sewer building.
Yeah. All right. Basically, we extended that line about 800 foot. It's a gravity line that goes up pretty much on the hill. And then I've got a manhole set on the 2973 side, and we run all the way to a manhole on 2973, which opens up a lot more opportunities for people on that side that want to be on the sewer. So, what I need is a motion to accept the amendment to the original grant and add this extension as presented. You got it right there.
I make a motion to accept the amendment.
Extend the gravity line. It's approximately $191,000 project. And we'll be ready to bid it out as soon as they get the motion. So we got a motion. A second. You got a second. Obviously, y'all had no discussion on it, and we pretty much we're planning on taking this as far as the money can go anyway. We just have to amend the original bid. So, all in favor?
Aye.
All right. Thank you all. Okay. Do you have the Parks and Wildlife? All right. That's where that changed. I've worked with Council Lady Sewell. And we sort of moved the kitty corral a little bit closer up front where you can watch a little bit better, rather than it was in the back. While we have this stuff, we have about a 30-foot border all the way around the outside. On the back side, the master gardeners had helped us get the grant, and they're putting in a pollinators garden, demonstration garden back there for us, on the very back side next to the back of Chico. On the two sides, since it may be that I'm going to displace the master gardeners from the community center, I've offered to help them move some of their plants over here, almost 30-foot borders around the edge, and I'm waiting for them to make a decision. Do they want us to help them remove the trees that they planted and some of the plants they have over there in their infrastructure out here and use this area? That'll be up to them. I'll work with y'all when I get that determination from them. But we are doing the pollinator garden because that's part of the grant. It's on the back side, and that was one of the things that we got high numbers on redoing this project. There were 18 street lights along the path that are below the tree, and I increased those to 36. It did not give us enough candle power, so there's 36 street lights. There's buried cable for the security cameras that are out there. And I went ahead and put water lines all the way around and across. The only trees that we'll take out are the ones that are marked in the new path, and we'll remove the root balls when we do that. And then we're going to follow Parks and Wildlife specs on crushed granite for walkways. So there's going to be a little bit of digging where the new goes. Base comes in, and then the crushed granite comes in and is compacted and is domed off where it shed water. In the backside, we have a couple underground pipes that will allow the water not to pool in the middle of the walking trail and go to the low side and evacuate that. With the additional lighting, play area, and after we get through this, we'll add our own bathrooms and probably a little pavilion on one side to where maybe this Christmas, or for sure next Christmas, you'll have a Christmas walking trail where the kids come out at night and walk during the holidays. Our gate is going to be electronically controlled. With the additional things that we're adding, we're going to have to increase our security at night. We've already had some breaches and cuts through the fence twice. I think we're going to remedy that with the innovativeness that we're doing out here. Any questions on the walking trail? If no questions, I need a motion and any discussion and then a second to approve the plans as presented. And I will ship those off to Parks and Wildlife and they will issue a notice to proceed.
I make a motion to approve.
No discussion? All right, vote. All in favor? All right, carried. So we'll send this out, Jody, to Parks and Wildlife and let them take a look at it. Okay, this building changes its name. Public Works Maintenance Operation Building. Pop those plans up there. I've already submitted them for a permit to the county. It is in the county. The sewer plant is in the county. It's not in the city. So we're working on that with their engineer and my engineer. This is a pre-engineered building. And it will, whoever the low bidder ends up being, because I'll have to rebid it, either Iron Brothers or Mueller, when they supply the building, they will certify and it will have the engineering seals from them. It's their building. We're buying a kit. We'll hire a weld-up person to put it on our pad whenever we pour it after we get our permit. It contains an office area in the middle. Our security cameras will go to that point. A lot of the bids that we get will be housed there. This will be a home for our two public works guy, our sewer operator, and our second sewer operator. The two roll-up doors on the side are for storing the lawnmower and equipment that we have in that. It's got 3 seals that need to be on there. Like I say, this is a little bit different. We didn't design the building. We bought a pre-engineered seal from Mueller or Iron Brothers, and that's what we're working on right now. We'll get that started as soon as we get the permit and get that over with. We took advantage of the fact that we owned the land out there. We did spend a considerable amount of money on the dirt work and getting it level. And also where we had a grade out front where we could drive to it. I'm satisfied with that. Councilman Curry worked with me on that, and I think we're both okay on that. Yes, good. It was this: either we go out and spend $50,000 on the site, build it, or we use our own land and do the modification. We're not going to shed water on anybody else because we're 3 foot below all the other property. We went down first and then we brought it up and leveled it out. So we're okay on the flood part of it. We didn't change our drainage. We're draining right back the roof on that, and any of the concrete will drain right into the same discharge that we had out there already. If you've been out there, sort of like a king, okay, in the middle. So, I'll need a motion to accept the plans on this as presented.
I'll make the motion to accept that as presented.
Second,
I'll second.
and let it show that we had no discussion on it. All in favor? Okay. So we'll get with the county and see where they are and what additional information they need on this and get it to them. Our next step will be to set the forms after we get the permit and pour the concrete. Then I'll go back to refresh those bids on the building to those two bidders. We'll get it, and then we'll take a look at if we fall under, what is it, $100,000?
Bid?
Yeah.
Yeah, it moved
We
up.
will do it, if not, we will bid it. Okay, so we got that done. Okay, I have looked at the city of Lufkin's. This next one is discussion of possible action moving forward on the city of Coldspring permit office. I'm reviewing Lufkin's, which is the big side, and I'm taking a look at New Waverly, which is very much like us, and look at their permitting. So I'll get all of those pulled out, collect resource material for council, and I'll send it to you with my recommendations and the categories that will be issued permits. But primarily, it's similar to what we were doing with the county. It's commercial, it's residential, and I think at this point we need to do something about demolition. Whenever they tore down Greg Moore's house, we had some issues with burning and high dangerous VOCs from the vinyl siding. And we got the owners to put that out, and they've agreed to haul the rest of the debris out of there. And then whenever they tore down Miss Lottie Price's old house across from the Exxon, there was carpet and there was some asbestos that somehow or another, even after we discussed it, they set it on fire. So the fire department put it out for me, and I talked with the owner, and as you've seen it, you've been by there, they collected and hauled all of that debris off versus burning on site. The reason, as we grow, and as the developers come in here, we're gonna have to limit the amount of freewheeling that's going on as far as demolition and burning on site. Because you have schools, you have the courthouse, you have the jail. Offenders would love to have another reason to sue us, okay? And we get sued frequently. However, we're tight, and these few tracts that have sold that have had houses or whatever on it, they sort of jumped the gun on us. And before I knew it, Moore's house was in a pile on fire. And I immediately called the Exxon guy and I said, hey man, what are your intentions? He said, well, I'm gonna remove all the debris. And then this guy that was helping set some of it on fire, carpet and stuff that we put out. But he's cleaned that up, so we won't go there with him. And I've talked to the owner of that track out by me, and they've agreed to haul the rest of the debris off. So in our permit, we're going to talk about old structures that are going to be demolished and have a demolition permit, and probably require some type of asbestos abatement inspection, not a plan, because if there's not any there, they don't have to have a plan before they get started, to where liability-wise the city's covered. And we'll get into that. That's the research I'm doing with Lufkin and also with New Waverly, and I'll supply it. So I don't know if we'll be ready to have that. I'm looking, and we'll discuss this. I'm thinking that we probably need to have an ordinance if we're going to enforce it. But I'll leave that up to legal. I'll get you all this stuff that you can review. And you can go further than, when I was in Lufkin, I talked to the engineers over at the city. They sent me 2 books on it, on the way they do it. Obviously, we're not going to climb to that level, but it's something to look at. And then, well, I've had my helper review the website over at New Waverly, and they've got a real good, probably what we're looking for. It's not complicated, it's just geared around safety. So I'll be sharing that
I'm
with
pretty
you.
sure they have ordinances to back up.
Yeah.
Whatever they do.
And that would be the key thing. What do you do when they don't get a permit and they're burning, or what do you do when they're building a building and don't get a permit? And if it's in the ordinance, we might be able to do something. Who knows? But that's the direction we're going this next year. Any questions on the permit office? That'll be coming at y'all over probably the next 2 months. We'll be talking about it more. Briefing on GLO, Disaster Recovery Local Community Program grants are available this year. I think all of us in the East Texas have gotten the deal from the land office that they have grants available up to $5 million in grant or less with a 10% match. We'll be looking at those and making some applications. Those are, if you go $5 million, that means the city puts up $250,000, $250,000, and I don't think we're going to have any project that will be of that size that I want to use these for. So probably, if I put in for us, and I'll talk to you about, it will be $1 million grant where we put in $100,000. And we'll go from there. But those are available, and I will be working with our administrator talking about it. And the thing, these are disaster recovery money, so therefore, whatever you're going to do with it, you have to tie it to disaster. In other words, I could probably get by at the firehouse because we lost the roof with the winds. At the community center, I won't qualify because there's been no impact on the community center from the disasters. And there's 3 different disasters that the funds are available. So we have to kind of do a better job communicating on what we're going to do. Plus, I've been told up front, we also have to have the documentation, either FEMA claims or pictures of the high water, stuff like that. I will talk to them about flood mitigation in the downtown area around the sheriff's department. That's where we seem to pool a lot of water in these heavy rains, and it's time to take a look at at what we're going to do with the water, how we're going to collect it, how we're going to move it, and how we're going to keep it off the top of the ground, which includes the roads in that part of town. And the majority of that is when the town was platted. They came along shortly after that, and they put in what was called the West Edition, and that's over towards the doctor's office in that area in there. So I'm gonna be looking at all of our streets in there. We've got probably 12-foot wide streets on 80-foot right of way. There's some opportunity for parking that we can't afford right now. Every time I try to buy like a piece of property for parking, it's $50,000 or whatever. When I've got all this extra right of way that we own, it just makes sense when we redo these streets and widen, we can put parking on each side, similar to what we did over near the Bell Bonds and Paradise Grill. And we did it with just rock to see if it would work. It looks like every time I go through there, there's a lot of cars parked over there, so it's giving us additional parking. So that's where some of the sidewalks are coming through. That might be a good idea to exercise some of those right of ways and do that. That was the briefing on J, discussion and possible action on adopting resolution 2026-01 designating official newspaper in the city of Coldspring for the fiscal year of 2026. We're talking about the San Jacinto County Times,
That's the only ones we have. So we need a motion, a discussion, and a second on adopting them as our official newspaper for 2026.
I make a motion.
I second.
Any discussion between the two? All right. Everybody? All right. Which brings us to our last one. Jackson Street. At the end of Jackson Street, there's an 80-foot right of way. I'm working on trying to find the West Edition plan, and I think it's 80 foot by 300 foot. That, when I talked to the grant administrator, was one of the areas that we looked at for underground flood drainage. So we're looking at that. If it's underground, obviously it can be paid. It will be adjacent to county property for proposed office. Judge, you want to speak up?
Well, we did know where the corners were, and I guess we took the liberty of clearing that off for you.
We appreciate that.
They did a nice job of smoothing it out.
Well,
I'm 66 and I don't ever remember that being a road, and there's a pine tree that probably me and Brother Kirk can't reach around right in the middle of it, so.
Yeah,
Anyway.
well, you gotta put it there, can you take it down too, since it cleared the rest?
we'll take care of it, depending on what my grant person says. We have a study which is RCP, and they have engineering. We're trying to map the floodplain. We're trying to do flood mitigation in that part of town, and we're trying to do GPS on our sewer. So you can look at your phone and see where the lines are. So that may play into that. The key thing is, for a while, I can remember the 80s, we did vacate a couple of road waterways that we didn't think we would need. We're not going to be doing that until we finish these sewer lines and finish this flood stuff. But any flood mitigation that we're doing needs to be underground. Okay, we need to pick it up, move it underground. We don't need to dig ditches, and which brings us to that right there ends up in what I call Faulkner Creek. Crosses the street.
Used to run right through the middle, it still runs there, I just sold the place.
And that's a live creek. And I've got a couple of situations where people have decided they're going to burn in that creek, and I'm hoping they're not burning oil filters and other junk like that. So bottom line, we're not interested in getting rid of it right away. The best case scenario, it becomes an underground drain, and we pay over the top of it, which would mean there would be additional parking for the county if they wanted it on the backside. We'll see how it goes. All right. Any questions on that? Okay. We're not, as usual, we don't have executive session, so we're not going to do executive session. Before we adjourn, the strategic plan I gave you, please take a look at it so we can adopt it, so we know where we're going, and then we'll get into each of these projects that are mentioned in here to setting up a timeline for the project, so we'll know when we get there, when we finish. And we'll be a little bit organized. I want to release this and put it on the website, and let the community know the direction that the city is going with this funds. Having said that, I appreciate y'all's time. I know it's a little bit late, but Happy New Year. I'm glad we all made it through all the food and Christmas, whatever, the fireworks. I know my pets will be happy in this compound. And I need a motion to adjourn in a second.
I make a motion to adjourn.
A second.
All in favor? We're out of here. Please call me.
Yeah.
Sure.